Hi everyone, it's Miss Hill. I came to read another book to you. I do have Remy here. I don't know if he'll stay in my lap, so we'll see. This book is called The Greedy Triangle, written by Marilyn Burns, illustrated by Gordon Silvera. So I have a little challenge for you during this book. Every time that you hear the word triangle, I want you to make a triangle with your hands, okay? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to start reading, and so this is how you do it. You just take one finger, you kind of make like an L and another L, and then you're just going to put it together. If you can make it like this too if you want. You can make a big triangle like this. It's up to you. I'm going to let you decide, but every time you hear the word triangle, everybody say triangle. I want you to make one with your hands or your body somehow, okay? So this is kind of a move around book. All right, here we go. The Greedy Triangle. Ooh, and I see some other shapes we might know. The Greedy Triangle. I'm going to scoot this up a little so you guys can see better. Okay. Once there was a triangle that was, as most triangles are, always busy. The triangle spent its time holding up roofs, supporting bridges, making music in a symphony orchestra, catching the wind for sailboats, being slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. So it's teaching us, or it's reminding us of a bunch of different things that have the shape of a triangle, right? There's an instrument called a triangle, a piece of pie. What kind of pie do you like? I would like to know that. What kind of pie do you like? Miss Hill really likes pie. Maybe you don't like pie. A sailboat, a sail on a sailboat, the roof on our house, right? So there's all types of things that have triangles in them. Oh, triangle, there's that word. If you hear the word triangle, what are you supposed to do? Don't forget. The triangle's favorite thing, however, was to slip into place when people put their hands on their hips. Oh, so if you put your hand on your hip, bye Remy, it makes a triangle. Look, do you see the triangle? Oh, I do. Cool. That way, I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. The triangle's friends liked hearing the news. Do you see the triangle's friends? What other shapes do you see? One day, the triangle began to feel dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the triangle went to see the local shapeshifter. How may I help you? The shapeshifter asked the triangle. I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the triangle, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the triangle into a quadrilateral. What else is a shape called? A quadrilateral is also called a what? Square. Good. Life changed in a wonderful way. The quadrilateral was happy with all the new things it could do. The quadrilateral could be a baseball diamond, or first, second, or third base. It could take a position on a checkerboard or a chessboard. It could be a television screen, a computer screen, or a movie screen. It could frame windows or frame pictures and much, much more. Look at all the things a quadrilateral can be, or a square. The quadrilateral's favorite thing, however, was to be the pages of a book. I learned so many interesting stories that way, it said, which I can tell my friends. The quadrilateral's friends liked hearing the stories. But one day, the quadrilateral began to feel dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the quadrilateral went back to the shapeshifter. How may I help you now? The shapeshifter asked the quadrilateral. I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the quadrilateral, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the quadrilateral into a pentagon. So a pentagon has 5 sides. You want to count them with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Life changed in a wonderful way. The pentagon was happy with all the new things it could do. On a baseball diamond, the pentagon could be home plate. It could be a section on a soccer ball, or appear inside whenever someone drew a 5-pointed star. Do you see in the middle of the star? There's all the 5 sides. Pretty cool. The Pentagon's favorite thing, however, was to be the headquarters of the United States military near Washington, D.C. I hear all the top secrets that way, it said. It's too bad I can't tell them to my friends. The Pentagon's friends couldn't help feeling left out. Oh, now look at his friends. What do their faces look like? Can you make a face like that? I feel left out. Raise your hand. Have you ever felt left out before? I think it happens to everybody. We all feel left out sometimes. And when we feel left out, what face would you make if you felt left out? Well, you wouldn't be happy, right? Yeah. After a while, time seemed to pass slowly for the Pentagon, and it became dissatisfied. So dissatisfied, you guys, it just means like unhappy. It's unhappy. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the Pentagon went back to the shapeshifter. So you're here again, the shapeshifter said to the Pentagon. Now what would you like? I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the Pentagon, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the Pentagon into a hexagon. So a hexagon has how many sides? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Life changed again in a wonderful way. The hexagon was happy with all the new things it could do. The hexagon fit in as floor tiles in houses and patios and fancy crackers at parties and picnics. It worked as the socket of certain bolts and the prongs of certain wrenches. The hexagon's favorite thing, however, was to be a cell in a beehive. I love watching the bees as they buzz in and out. Can you guys make a bee noise? It said. The hexagon spent so much time in the beehive, it was too busy to talk to its friends. The friends missed the hexagon and couldn't help feeling ignored. So they felt like he didn't even care about them anymore. Again and again, the shape became restless, dissatisfied, and unhappy with its life. Again and again, it returned to the shapeshifter for more sides and more angles. The shapeshifter agreed to turn it into one shape after another. A heptagon, an octagon, a nonagon, a decagon, and on and on. Finally, the shape had many, many sides and many, many angles. Its sides were so small that it had trouble keeping its balance. Its friends couldn't tell which side it was on and began to avoid the shape. You can barely see how many sides it has because it has so many. You guys get up really close, you can see there's one side, 2 sides, but you can barely tell. One day, when the shape was going down a hill, it began to roll. Faster and faster it went, screeching around corners, crashing into fences and trees, colliding with bicycles and terrifying walkers. At last, the shape came to a stop. It felt tired and dizzy, lonely and sad. Enough, thought the shape. I don't know which side is up. I can't keep my balance. My friends don't want me around. The shape could no longer remember why it had been so unhappy as a triangle. Oh, there's that word again, as a triangle. Very carefully, it made its way back to the shapeshifter. Aren't you happy yet? The shapeshifter asked. I want to be a triangle again, said the shape. I'm not surprised, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the shape back into a triangle. The triangle was delighted to have its old shape back again and kept itself very busy. Once again, it held up roofs, supported bridges, made music in a symphony orchestra, caught the wind for sailboats, became slices of pie, yum, and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. Oh, here it is, back to its triangle. Are you doing the shape with your hands? Still, the triangle's favorite thing was to slip into place when people put their hands on their hips. Everyone do it. Put your hand on your hip, or put both hands on your hips. I can't because I'm reading. That way, I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. Its friends liked hearing the news, and we're glad the triangle was back in shape again. What do their friends look like now? Do they look happy or sad? What do you think? And what about the triangle? What does the triangle look like? Does he feel happy again? I think so. And that is the end of our story today. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and everyone show me your best triangle you can make.